So welcome everybody to our February Lunch and Learn. My name is Darlene and I am the program manager with Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. I'm very excited today to be sharing with you MyLifeLine. It's a wonderful online platform that I am going to do a share screen now, and so we can go over the a PowerPoint, and then we're actually going to dive into MyLifeLine Live. I have a MyLifeLine account, and I will be showing that with you as we'll go through an actual live demonstration. MyLifeLine, if I can get my clicker here to work. First we'll just start. Everybody should hopefully know Cancer Support Community is really here to ensure that all people affected by cancer are empowered and strengthened and sustained, and that that community is really what we're all about. And that's what's great about MyLifeLine is it's a digital online platform for that community to be able to continue even when we're not in person. And so a little bit about Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. You know what our main sole focus is to ensure that those social and emotional needs are addressed. And that's what's great about a lot of the programs we offer and a lot of tools we're able to provide. And one of those tools is MyLifeLine. And it really is that opportunity to experience community and connection through an online platform. And it really has a very easy platform to be able to connect cancer survivors and caregivers with their support community. And it just really helps as you're going through your cancer journey to have pretty much everything in one place. And I'll share what I mean by that in a little bit. And again, it's just really there to help reduce that stress, anxiety, and the isolation, especially during this time of COVID when we're still all stuck at home. We're still social distancing, not able to be in person, and unless you're like 6 feet apart and doing all those safety measures. The online platform just gives us a chance to connect with others. So as I mentioned, that it is that online support. The one of the things that's great about the discussion boards is that's there's online support groups, and they are moderated by licensed mental health professionals, and those licensed health professionals are available 24/7. So if you post a question or you make a comment, you're just not going to be left hanging. There's going to be somebody there that will respond, somebody that will see it and will reach back out to respond to your question. So never feel that you're just like, oh, I reached out and had no idea if anybody saw my post, and they definitely are. And those licensed social workers are Cancer Support Community employees. That's through our headquarters, and it really does give you that opportunity to connect with others just like you, just like our ongoing support groups. The discussion boards are an ongoing support group, and you'll see in a little bit that there's very specific discussion boards and topics. So this really gives you an opportunity to share your journey. You can, as I already mentioned, meet others who are going through the situation very similar to yours. It's a way for you to create a private website in a safe way that you can invite people to join that private website. You have control over who sees what you put up there. So it's not open to like Facebook, where everybody on Facebook who's in your friends and family. This is people that you specifically individually invited, and you can share your journey and what's going on with that. And then you can actually assign care coordinators to help manage that site. And as I said, as we're going through the actual website, we can share a little bit more about how all that works together. And so this is Amber on our headquarters website, which is cancersupportcommunity.org. Heather has a video, which is less than 2 minutes. I want to say it's like 1:45, that she shares her MyLifeLine experience. And so she, I believe she is the one who mentioned that she blogs every day of her breast cancer journey. And she's over at that last when she made this video, it was like 600 blogs, because she was 2 years into her journey and she was blogging every day. You do not have to blog every day. That's not a requirement. But if you have a chance to look at the main website, or the national website, you'll see Amber's video on there. So what are the features of MyLifeline? You know, we talked about it's an online platform, but what does that mean? So here are some of the features. Is the first thing is the dashboard. That's really your landing page when you get onto MyLifeline, and it has the just like any other dashboard, it has the tools and it has the links to maneuver throughout MyLifeline. And it really is your hub of activity across MyLifeline. And so that anytime that you have any, get kind of, where do I go next, to where's my next link? The dashboard is a great landing place for that. And so from the dashboard, that's where you're going to be creating your own personal site. And that's what I'll be showing you in a demonstration. You'll see the discussion boards, and then there's a wealth of information on that dashboard that you'll see in person here. The interactive blog, this is what I meant by Amber blogging every day. And it really is just an opportunity for you to update as you want in your journey. I was sharing this with, because I cover MyLifeline during our newcomer welcome orientation, and I was sharing this with somebody, and they're like, oh, she goes, this is great. I don't have to make 15 phone calls to my family and friends to tell them what my last test was, or I don't have to do a blog email. I can do one blog, and then those who I have given permission to see, they can come in and keep up to date with me. And this is really great, one, in this pandemic time, but two, if you have family and friends who are out of town, this is one place that they can go and keep up to date with your journey and any needs that you might possibly have. And as you'll see that, you can upload photos and videos. You can have stories, and it's just a way to interact in a safe, secure one place. The helping calendar is really a very fabulous feature on MyLifeline. This is really great. It has some pre-populated things, but such as doctor's appointments and meals, but then there's things that you can go in and add yourself. And so it really is like the landing place, or the one place where you can put all the information, and you can request for help because of, you may have said this yourself, you may have received this, but somebody, it's so easy to say, call me if you need any help. Well, call me if I can do anything. It's like, people want to help. They don't know what you need. And then sometimes when you're going through the journey, sometimes asking for help can be pretty difficult, or it can be, you're just overwhelmed with so much that's going on. It's like, where do I even start? And so the helping calendar is really a fabulous feature on MyLifeline. So I gotta get my carrot. There we go. And so when you put up a posting on the helping calendar, your family and friends will be notified when you put those on there, and then they can see your needs, and then they can respond to your needs. And you can actually have a care coordinator that you have assigned to help manage the MyLifeLine and help manage your calendar and those offers of help. And again, I was sharing MyLifeLine during one of the newcomer welcome orientations, and the person I was talking to said, I don't have to make 10 phone calls, and the first 9 people said no, they couldn't help on that one particular day. And she goes, I can put this on the calendar and that people can respond as needed. And I said yes, and she's like, oh, that's wonderful. And if you've ever made those phone calls where you call and they're like, no, I'm sorry, I just can't help that day, or I really just can't do that, it's just like, it can get very discouraging, especially as you're going through your list of family and friends and you're getting down to the bottom. And so by having this on the helping calendar, it's just all there in one spot. And this is another quote from somebody who had logged on and created a MyLifeLine account. And as you can see, that she was talking about the calendar, and that she herself didn't have to call people, that they signed up, and then she got to rest. So I do apologize for an outdated helping calendar icon here, a little picture, but we'll see a real live one. It really hasn't changed all that much, but you can see some of the pre-populated features that's on here, and you can see what a completed calendar looks like, where the different things that are listed on there. So in addition to the helping calendar, another wonderful part of MyLifeLine are the discussion boards. And this is that those online support groups. And it's an opportunity for you to find people, connect with people who are going through a similar cancer diagnosis or caregiver experience that you're going through. And just, if you've ever been part of a support group, just knowing that you're with people who are experiencing the same things that you're experiencing, who can relate, who can give suggestions and tips and coping things that they've done. It really is a great way for that connection and to address those any isolation issues. And it says here, find the boards and topics that resonate with you. And these are a list of the current boards and topics, and they're constantly adding to MyLifeLine. These are only in alphabetical order because I found it easier to make sure I had them all. I went onto MyLifeLine and was copying and pasting onto this PowerPoint. So they're in alphabetical order only in that reason, for easy organization for me. But as you can see, there's 14 current boards and topics. And as I mentioned, there's ones that are continually being added. And so, there's caregiver support, there's, living with breast cancer, coping with side effects, lung cancer, the multiple myeloma, the nutrition and wellness, post-treatment. And that's one of the things that we had actually seen in our annual survey that we had sent out back in at the end of last year. Several people had said, well, what about the post-treatment survivors? And so there's a discussion board for that on MyLifeLine. And here's another quote. Paige actually, if you go to national headquarters, you'll see Paige. She's currently on the national website here talking about how MyLifeLine has been really very beneficial for her. So we talked about MyLifeLine and all of the features, and you're like, that's great. How do I register for that? And so the landing page, or the how to register, is through Cancer Support Community Central Ohio's website, which is cancersupportohio.org. And I'm going to stop the screen share, and I am going to switch over to the website. So hopefully everybody is familiar with the Cancer Support Community of Central Ohio's website. And this is the landing page when you log on. There's actually 2 ways to find MyLifeLine. I'm going to show you the not so common one, and then I'll go through the most common way of going that. So everybody is familiar with our virtual calendar, and that's you access that by exploring our offerings and sign up. And as you scroll down, everybody's probably very familiar with our weekly calendar. But as you scroll down even further, there's important program and updates. And so there's information in here on, several different things with, newcomer, the one-on-one counseling that we're able to provide, the MyLifeLine, frankly speaking about cancer, and then some of the other programs and services that we do. And MyLifeLine has the link right here. So that's the harder way to find it, but I didn't know how many of the participants on the call today had scrolled down enough in our virtual calendar to even see this information. But the easiest way to find us is when you scroll back up to the top of the page and you're on the landing page. If you go over to the resources tab, the very first thing under the resources tab is MyLifeLine. So when you click on that, then the MyLifeLine page opens up, and sign up here. And if you don't already have a MyLifeLine account, when you come over here on the left-hand side, it says not a member, register now. So when you click on that, it's going to ask you for your email address. They want to verify your email with a valid email address before you can proceed. And so you enter your email that you want to use and you hit submit. You'll get a confirmation email and that you can click on. Very similar to any other things that you're registering on. But because I already have an account, when I go to the sign in, I'm just going to use my email here. And I already I had to save my password. So my password's already in there. And what's nice is as it's loading, there's always a nice quote here. I always enjoy reading those quotes as it's loading. So this is the dashboard of MyLifeLine. So you can see there's a wealth of information on the dashboard, and we'll start by just going through up here on the toolbar, and we'll go through each one of these, and I'll share a little bit about each one of those sections, and then we'll talk about some of the other things that's on the account. So the first one is My Profile. And so once you land on here, My Profile is where you put all of your basic information, where, what your address, what your diagnosis is, and then your email preferences. And so your basic information is just that: name, phone number. You guys don't need to know how old I am. What email address that you want to use, etc. And then the location, because if I use this for work, I use Cancer Support Community Central Ohio's web mailing address. And that's just because, again, I am not a cancer survivor nor a current caregiver. So I use this one just for demonstration purposes. And then the diagnosis, there's nothing in here because what I just shared, but you can put your diagnosis in here. And then email preferences. And this is where you can set how often do you want to receive emails. You can get an email weekly, in real time, daily, or you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to receive any emails. I have chosen weekly. And then if anything pops up, then I'll get those emails on a weekly basis. And then there's other emails in here. You can receive news, program information from Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. I already am well versed in that, so I chose not to receive those. But I can get updates, stories, and more from Cancer Support Community. And that is our national headquarters, the international organization there. So that's what the profile is. And then the email preferences is part of that profile. And so on the dashboard, this is your site that you have created. And this is the site that I created, and how to enter that site is you just click right on your name. And then it takes you to the actual MyLifeLine. The dashboard takes you back to the page we were just on. And so again, going through the toolbar here, we'll start with my story, and that's exactly it. It's your story. It's what friends and family can read. It's kind of like your, if you are newly diagnosed, or if you're post-treatment, or if you're a caregiver, you can put this in your story. So as you can see, that the first thing that I always like to share with everybody is that I'm not a cancer survivor, but I have several family members on both sides of my family who have been affected by cancer. And then I thought it was nice to add that that I'm the program manager at Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. And then that's my story. And usually you can edit that as needed, but usually it's, once you have that on there, people can see. Now the updates, that's the interactive blog. This is the blog that Amber from the PowerPoint that you've seen. This is what she goes in on a daily basis and just keeps her family and friends updated to let them know what's going on. And you could upload articles, you can upload pictures, you can post videos, and so you can do on your daily blog. And now the guests, those are the family and friends that you have invited to be able to see your MyLifeline. And I have two sisters who I have gotten permission to use their emails and their names. Again, they know that I'm using this just for demonstration purposes. And so with your guests, you can make somebody your care coordinator. And as we mentioned earlier, that care coordinator really has administrative rights over your site. If for some reason you're not feeling up to being able to post yourself, the care coordinator can go in and help. It's kind of like a co-host. But then you can also have just family and friends or guests just comment and leave messages. And so Denise, and the only reason I picked Denise over Diane is alphabetically, Denise comes before Diane in the alphabet. And so so Denise, that's why she's my care coordinator, and I only needed one, but Diane can post as needed. And then the helping, this is how you invite. There's a, come on. There we go. So there is a link here that you can copy to a clipboard when you send an email out saying, hey, I'm inviting you to join MyLifeline, and that link right there will take them to this dashboard, and they can, accept. And then there's, ways that you can send that. You can, reach out through Facebook or, the different emails. And then guest request. I don't have any, but I just wanted to show you that tab as the computer's loading. So I have no request pending because I didn't reach out to anybody else. The helping calendar is next on the tool tab, and this is that wonderful opportunity to put in your needs as needed. As I mentioned, there were some things that were already pre-populated, the caregiver relief, the doctor's visits, meals, if you need a ride. The occasion, we'll go over that in a little bit. A visit, hopefully, unfortunately, and with COVID, that would need to be done in a safe distance way, and then other we'll go over. So I don't have anything in February, but I'll show you what January looked like because I was using this again for newcomer welcome orientation. I had shown on the 15th, just as a demonstration, that I needed a ride for chemo from 1 to 2 on the 15th, and my message was I'd pay for parking fees. It says no help needed because of that was last month. So for in February, say I want to schedule something for tomorrow. Oh, the computer is a little slow. So I clicked on the day that I wanted to go to, and then I can type in the event, or I can say the event, the event type. So I used Ride to Chemo before, so I'm going to say Friday dinner. And so I'll go over here to meal and click on that. And then I can say, since this is, oh, I said Friday dinner. I meant to say Thursday dinner. Got my days mixed up. So I'll come over here and it's like it's dinner. So I really want dinner between 6 and 6:30. And Eastern Standard Time. And I don't need this to be a recurring event, because if it's just, I need just dinner tomorrow night. And all of the guests can see this. And you put whatever description that you have, and then location. And then how many volunteers do you need? Well, I really only need one dinner, so I'm going to choose one. And then you can create that event. And that will be on my email or on my calendar, and people will get an email that I need that help. So when I want to show you here with these going back to these pre-populated, come on. Sorry, my computer is going a little slow again. These pre-populated events. So the caregiver relief, you could put whatever in there. It's like, respite care, need help with that. The doctor's appointment, the visit, again, being very safe with the COVID restrictions. But the other, that's when you can pre-populate, you can type in anything you want. It's like, I need somebody to take Susie to bowling, or I need somebody to pick Billy up from hockey, or I need somebody to take Fido for a walk. And so, those you can type in anything that you need on there. And the occasion are really just those one-time events that don't need volunteers, but you're doing an awareness, such as my surgery is scheduled for Monday at 4 o'clock. And it's just a way of putting that on the calendar so people will see that all in one place. Or it's Susie's birthday, or I get to ring the bell because it's my last day of chemo. And so you can put those special occasions on there that don't need volunteer help. And we'll go back to the calendar. And so, so that's really the helping calendar, and really is a wonderful place to be able to put all of the needs in one place. And as you can see, the helping calendar was sponsored by Pfizer. So Cancer Support Community has some help with this particular program. And then next up on our toolbar is the photos, and you can upload photos, you can upload videos, as I'd mentioned earlier. And I wanted to show you one of the pictures that I uploaded, because I wanted you to see what your volunteer sees on their end. So I did a screenshot of Diane's website, or I'm sorry, Diane's email. My sister Diane, who's not my care coordinator, so she gets she got an email that says from MyLifeLine, and it's the no reply at mylifeline.org. And it says that you have new notifications. Please log in to check out. And it says Darlene's need volunteers. So if she clicks here on login, or she would click on Darlene needs volunteers, that takes Diane right to MyLifeline's calendar. And everybody who's on my Lifeline gets those notifications, and then they can go through my calendar and say, oh, I can help with this and I can help with that, or I can't do any of that. Again, just one place to put all of your needs is just a fabulous tool. But I have very boring pictures, but I just wanted to show you what that looks like. And then the last tab on the My Lifeline site is a Give and Learn tab. And there's 2 gives and 1 learn tab. So the first give is really more like a crowdfunding site for you. For your medical and your practical needs. You can request financial support from family and friends. You can have a gift registry uploaded on Amazon.com. And what's nice, if you use Amazon or SmileAmazon.com, Cancer Support Community Central Ohio has a Smile Amazon account. And I think it's 5%. No, 0.5%. Of your purchases goes back towards the 0.5% of your financial purchases goes back to Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. I believe it's that. And then there's also, you can upload a link to PayPal. And then there's the middle button is supporting Cancer Support Community, and this is the Cancer Support Community directly. The Small Change, Big Impact is an app to, I looked at this, but it looks like that when you are making donations, that just like if you do like, a roundup, to help the Ronald McDonald House or something. This is it, you're rounding up, and then those cents and change, that change then comes to Cancer Support Community, and then the Amazon Smile or Smile Amazon. And then the Learn About My Cancer. Once that populates up here, there are 2 links. One is Living with Cancer and one is Becoming a Caregiver. And these links actually will take the people right to the the national website. And so you can email this to your family and friends, your guests who are on your account. But if we click Living with Cancer, the cancersupportcommunity.org, and you know that this is the national website because, one, the website's cancersupportcommunity.org, but also the logo up here is Cancer Support Community and Gilda's Club. And so that the landing page for that link is Living with Cancer, and you scroll down and there's all this information that's on here. And then Becoming a Caregiver takes you right to the caregiver under the Get Educated and Inspired section of the headquarters, the national website. And so there's a lot of information in here on caregiving. So that's the site. Then also on while you're still here in your your site for My Lifeline, over here on the far right hand side, you can invite and approve guests. You can, and you'll see as you scroll down here, there is the Cancer Support Community Central Ohio. Because of this is a branded My Lifeline. We were one of the first of the affiliates to get a branded My Lifeline, meaning it connects directly to our affiliate. So we have the front doors of the agency. You'll have our contact information. You guys all know this, but again, if you have family and friends or guests, they might not know us. And so our phone numbers on here, our general emails on here. And when you click on this picture here, it takes you back to our website. And then as you scroll down on this right-hand column, this is Ruby. She is the virtual avatar for Cancer Support Community. The main website, the national website, and she'll take you through a virtual tour, and you get to see everything that cancersupportcommunity.org has to offer. There's recipes and cooking videos. There is educational resources. There's yoga and exercises, and then the online support resources, and then the advocacy, the action center. And so that's Ruby, and she'll take, as the digital avatar, she'll take you through that. And then these two next sections are on a carousel, so they'll rotate in and out. And so upcoming events, any research, any new articles that Cancer Support Community knows of, they'll populate up here. And so you can see tomorrow on World Cancer Day, they're going to have a from the White House to the Congress, ask our experts what's at stake for patients. And so they're going to have an opportunity for you'll have an opportunity to hear and from and ask the experts questions about the policies that's in the news and where the current administration is doing for cancer survivors and the RSVP today, because tomorrow is the program. And then this is our current research study that's currently going on. Sorry, redundant. But Cancer Support Community's Research and Training Institute has the current research programs, and some of these have financial incentives to participate, some do not. But the current one that's going on is telling us about how COVID-19 has impacted your access to cancer care. So that is the MyLifeLine site. So we want to go back to my dashboard. So there's a couple more things that I wanted to share with you. So as you can see, back over here on the right-hand side, the Cancer Support Community Central Ohio, that remains the same. But then these, again, have rotated in and out. And so here's some information about if you want to become an advocate, getting the local, the voices heard at the local and national level with our policymakers. So that'll link you back to the headquarters national's website to register for that. But then there's also recipes. And so not only does Cancer Support Community have Cancer Support Community Central Ohio have recipes on the website, but cancersupportcommunity.org has recipes as well. And then as you scroll down here, I wanted to highlight that the Cancer Support Helpline, for those, hopefully everybody knows about this, but if you don't, the Helpline is staffed by mental health professionals Monday through Friday from 9 to 9. And what's great about this, it's Eastern Standard Time, so I never have to worry about what the time is in Nevada. It's Eastern Standard Time, so if I know I'm making a phone call at 5 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock. But since COVID, Cancer Support Community has extended the support helpline to weekends. And so Saturday and Sunday, that helpline is available 9 to 5. And it is in both English and in Spanish. And the helpline is a wonderful resource. It's, again, staffed by licensed mental health professionals. So if you have a question or you want to talk to somebody, but if you're looking for a clinical trial, if you want to know more about the Cancer Experience Registry, if you just are looking for local resources, then the Cancer Support Helpline is a great resource to have. There's also down here on the left-hand side, technical support. There's an email and then a phone number. So if you're on MyLifeLine and you're experiencing technical difficulties, you can reach right out to the technical support and they can walk you through that. And then there's, on each page, there is a help button. Excuse me. And so this help button has some great resources, such as, if I want to create a site for myself, it takes you through the steps of what those are. If you wanted to create a site for someone else, say you're a caregiver, or you're not a caregiver, but you're a family or friend of somebody, and you wanted to help them get set up for MyLifeLine. It takes you the steps on how to creating a site for somebody else. And then, every step that you need is right in here. And then the last one is, how do I join an online discussion board? And that's the next thing we're going to talk about. The next thing we're going to talk about, the discussion boards. The things that I want to point out before we get to the discussion boards is up here. You'll see on the very top on the right hand side, there's this trophy icon, and that's your achievements. So as you navigate through MyLifeLine, every time you do something, it's kind of like a checklist. It's like, okay, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this. And as you can see, I've done my profile photo, and I've added my short bio, which was my story. And then these are other things that you can do. I have not done them, so I haven't gotten marked as achievements. The ringing bell here is your notifications icon, and these are quite old, and I'll show you, because this is back when I set my site up myself, that my sister Diane has requested to join my site because I sent her an invitation, and Denise created a guest post because I'd asked her to do so. So you can clear all, and then that number goes away and the bell stops ringing. Again, I use this as a demonstration, so I'm going to leave my bell ringing. But then over here on the left-hand side of those three icons, you can see that's where you can private message somebody. You can do like an IM or private message with the people who you have on your site. But then you can also reach out to discussion board friends, which leads us into the discussion board. If you remember from the PowerPoint, there are 14 current discussion boards. And so these are not in alphabetical order like my list was, but the very first one up here, as you can see, the caregiver support, there are 79 topics and 417 posts. This is the most popular discussion board on here. The next one is coping with side effects at 71 topics and 401 posts. There's 160 for the breast cancer, the leukemia has 14 posts, lung cancer has 79. And you can see that the young adult survivors of pediatric cancer has no post. There's only one topic and no post. This is still a very new addition to MyLifeLine. I mean, that and the multiple myeloma in the Black community have only been added. The multiple myeloma in the Black community wasn't even added until this past December. So I'm not surprised that there hasn't been a lot of posts because it's still really new. So as you can see, as you go through here, the topics that we had mentioned, and as I mentioned earlier, that the discussion boards are an online support group, but they're also staffed 24/7 by licensed social workers, licensed mental health professionals. And so you can sort by the most recent post, or you can sort by alphabetical. I have not joined a discussion board yet because I wanted to wait until we did this demonstration. But when you go to join the discussion board, it gives you terms and conditions. It pretty much just says, there's a policy, a privacy policy in here. It's asking you to, protect the privacy policy. It's if you're experiencing chronic critical health crisis, you really need something a little bit more than an online support, there's phone numbers here for that. Then it's asking you that you're going to be pretty much a basic decent human being while you're on the discussion board. Please don't do any bullying, don't do any solicitations, don't be abusive or discriminatory or obscene, because of the cancer support community has the right to remove, edit, move, or close any comments. And so you're just, when you're doing the terms, you're saying, yes, I will agree to do this. So once you do the accept the terms, it's going to ask you to create a username. You don't necessarily need to use your personal, I don't need to put in Darlene Honeyford. I might put in a different name like DH or something. And then it's going to go through and it's just like, which ones do you want to, or these are the current available boards. And then you get to click, submit that you want to submit. And so the discussion boards are there for you to use. And the last thing I wanted to point out on the MyLifeLine here is the view the tour. And this is really great if you forget everything that I just shared. This view tour, you can go back as many times as you want to, and it'll go through the sites and it'll explain, this is your friends and family site. And this is what the discussion boards do. And here's what these icons all mean. And here's the, the helpful local resources. The helpline is highlighted. And then the help button is the last one. And then the last thing is find a virtual cancer support community near you. Again, you're inviting family and friends. And I have set family and friends, not a lot who live out of Ohio, but I have some. So my aunt and uncle and cousins who are in Texas or in Colorado or Virginia or Michigan, are part of my Lifeline and they see this, they're not going to come to Central Ohio. Well, they can now because everything's virtual. But when we're back in person, they're not going to come to Central Ohio's site to do programming. They can find one close to them that they're welcome to. And again, just like all of our programs, these are open to anyone affected by cancer for any time of length that you need us at no cost. So then to get out of MyLifeLine is you just go back up in here and then you just click down to sign out. And that'll sign us out. And I want to stop the share. So there's one last thing I wanted to show everybody. I'm actually going to email this document to you. It is a PowerPoint. I'm sorry, not the PowerPoint. It's a PDF. This is the PDF of the brochure of MyLifeLine. And so on the hard copy, it's just a two-folded brochure, but it goes over all of the things that we just discussed. And so the technical support numbers there, the email, all of the different sections that we went over, such as the blog and the helping calendar and the helpline. And so I'm going to email everybody this. I'm also going to be emailing you, I'll put this in now, an evaluation of today's session. That is through SurveyMonkey because we want to we need to show our the funders that help underwrite our programs about the program. And so, Cancer Support Community is here so that no one faces cancer alone. And hopefully everybody has my contact information or Cancer Support Community's contact information, but just in case you don't, there we go. And that then leaves us open to questions. Does anybody have any questions for me? And you are welcome to come off of mute.
How does the discussion board, go ahead. How does the discussion board work? Do you just put a message in there and then somebody answers it later on? They're not live or anything like that, right?
They might be live depending on when, because they are monitored 24/7. But if they're if the social, because of my understanding, it's one social worker per schedule. So if they don't answer you right away, Arlene, they will definitely get back to you and it's a very timely manner. But yes, they definitely respond, and that'll be a message that you'll receive. But yeah, it very well could be lifetime if the social worker's in that particular discussion board.
Okay, so then you're talking to the social worker, you're not talking to other patients.
Actually, you're doing both.
Okay.
If the other participants don't answer, then the social worker will, so you're not left hanging. But yes, the other participants in that particular discussion board will be responding.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a digital version of a support group. So you're not seeing people like you're currently seeing each other right now, but it's that digital communication.
Okay. Hello.
Looks like she put everything in one bag for you.
Oh,
So
that's
you
cool.
want me to just set it down? It might be a little bit heavy.
Oh, I think thank you.
Any other questions that anybody has? Okay, well, we are recording this presentation. This will be uploaded to the website after I have a chance to get it formatted, and Kylie will upload it to the website. And you are always welcome to reach out to me either by phone or by email if you have any questions about the MyLifeLine. If you have any questions about wanting to get set up, or want to get an account set up and want some help with that, I am very happy to assist in any way that I can.